Told you. Still $1,000, right?
Yeah, don't worry. A guy also sent me one of Kelly's titty pics.
Oh shit, her nipples are fucked up.
Sick freak! No!
The Class of 09. Class of 09 is the type of series where pretty much everyone has an opinion about it. It's pretty much a you love it or you hate it situation for most people. Despite its recent shortcomings with the latest game, Flipside, this series still manages to worm its way into my brain to this day. I find myself frequenting the Reddit, I keep track of news on SBN3's plans for the next game, I even read fanfics. So, I want to get some of those brainworms out in the best way I know how, by making a video on it. Welcome back to the channel. I am Everheart. Here we love and appreciate all things storytelling. I can't promise I'll get everything right, but I can promise that I will give my best. Let's have a talk about the Class of 09 anime pilot and how it makes me want the best for these characters. So for a refresher, in case you haven't watched the pilot in a while, the pilot's plot is very similar to the game's in terms of the wacky shenanigans they get up to. The story focuses mainly on Nicole, Jekka, and Ari, with Emily having a very bare-bones subplot running in the background. The main plot is Nicole trying to scrounge up whatever money she can to buy a belt that was once worn by Avril Lavigne, and Jekka plotting revenge for... Let me check my notes here. Ari telling her she can't eat her burrito on the Hot Topic premises.
You weird.
No, mad petty dog, I can't lie. Rewatching the pilot twice through in preparation for this video, one thing that's immediately noticeable is just how damn adorable Nicole is in a lot of these scenes. Like, seriously, look at her in these moments. She seems to be playing games here in this moment right here. Yeah, honestly, I knew that girl was a nerd on the low. Some people on the Class of 09 subreddit speculated that she was just angrily texting someone, but nah, I don't believe it. That stance? No, she was locked the hell in. I know a gamer lean when I see one. This fits perfectly to all the various moments within the series that hint at Nicole being a nerd on the low. Maybe I'll make a short on that someday. Honestly, this little hand wiggling movement that she does is one of the cutest things ever. She has like a lot of cute mannerisms in this whole thing. Hell, she even genuinely smiles for what may be the first time across the entire series. Look at this. Like, before this, any smile you saw on Nicole's face was when she was making fun of someone or completely plotting someone's downfall. Though I guess I can't blame her in this clip. A good-ass burrito from Chipotle will put a smile on anyone's face. Nicole just overall seems more like a goofball here than an actual threat like she does in the games, and honestly, I find that very endearing and refreshing after seeing the beautiful yet horrible train wreck that she is in the visual novels. A very interesting dichotomy between her and Jekka, who goes on absolute demon time in this episode over a damn burrito.
Relax.
Honestly, it feels like some new writer stepped in and just switched Nicole's and Jekka's characters. It's honestly fascinating. Another thing to focus on is the absolute banger music that's littered across the whole episode. Like, I know Start a War by Colin Monroe is like an absolute banger, but like, listen to some of these other tracks.
See behind me giveaways, McDonald's owns Chipotle. See behind me giveaways, McDonald's owns Chipotle.
Like, dude, I need the names of the other tracks in the pilot too. Like, SBN3, please get on that. Please and thank you. The animation in combination with the music really sells the lighthearted tone that permeates throughout the episode. They look more anime than even the Kickstarter anime teaser that came prior to this. The teaser style feels more in line visually and tonally with the games. The changes honestly make me wonder about the design process and what changed along the way leading up to the pilot's release. Really wish I could have been a fly on the wall when they were making this. Pure humor that the games are known for is still present here, but they seem to fall to the wayside, you know, in favor of the more goofy elements in the anime. Like, there's no instances of Nicole trashing guys, which is like one of our favorite pastimes in the games. And in this scene, when Ari tells her she can't smoke in the shop, she just kind of gets a little bit irritated with no real pushback, and she just dips. Game Nicole would have absolutely kept on, giving no fucks about anything Ari was saying. Would have probably roasted her ass like a Thanksgiving turkey. This shows a certain level of understanding and restraint from Nicole here, which I find very interesting. And the various ideas she comes up with to get the belt from Emily honestly feels like some shit Eddie from Ed and Eddie would come up with. She's more focused on just trying to pull the wool over someone's eyes, unlike her game counterpart, who always finds a way to cause trouble for anyone involved. Game Nicole was literally putting drugs on the streets in PG County just to get out of actually working on her assignment. To hell with any potential addicts rising up from my actions. Like, bro, what? Hell, Jekka feels like more like a stand-in for Game Nicole. Shawty was pulling Looney Tunes level strats to get back at Ari, like making protest signs, handing out flake flyers for a minor speed dating event at Ari's job, and trying to coat the shop in 200 cereal balloons. Holy sweat lord. She has all the time in the world to set this shit up too. Like, baby girl, please get a job. Again, she did all of this over a fucking burrito. That shit must have hit like crack in the 80s. Had crack from the 80s baked into it, because ain't no way. It's just so goofy because I just can't see Game Jekka being even close to giving this much of a fuck to do something like this. It's pure comedy. Honestly, Ari got put through the ringer in this episode, and she managed to keep her cool the entire episode. She's a better person than me, dog, because I would have absolutely crashed out on Jekka before she even got to the sewer in this episode, and she managed to keep her cool the entire episode. She's a better person than me, dog, because I would have absolutely crashed out on Jekka before she even got to the cereal balloon idea. Would have had to whoop her ass.
Go again, fuck nigga.
Unfortunately for Jekka, the whole cereal balloon idea doesn't really come to pass. Ari just deals with all this bullshit and keeps her cool, makes the comedic moments that happen at her expense a lot more tolerable. It's one of those, it's laughable how bad things are getting from these situations. Honestly, after watching this episode, if on the low chance we get more anime episodes, I definitely want Ari to continue being prominent in them like this one. She would make a damn good protagonist if Nicole didn't already fill that role. With all that covered, we reach the ending scene of the episode where Nicole has to make up for selling Jekka out to the feds for the fuck belt. It's honestly really sweet how she goes out of her way to do this. It's one of the few times where she actually cares for Jekka outside of superficial reasons like she does in the game for the most part. The one exception being that one time that she purposely got into trouble with the counselor just to keep him off of Jekka. Nicole, even in the anime, still has a level of compassion that's much more noticeable in this pilot. Jeffrey then pulls up walking with the meanest Waiata walk of the year, pressing Jekka about the photo that wasn't actually her. Which then leads to Jeff getting absolutely domed by the railing after Nicole shoves him into them, which causes him to start bleeding the fuck out. Which is honestly way too much for some scrawny motherfucker like him. Also, how strong is Nicole? Because damn, like, I know Jeffrey's weak as shit, but still, Nicole, you might have super strength low-key. And then they just walk off like Nicole didn't just catch a body. Like, does the mall not have outside security cameras, gang? Or is there just not anyone sitting in the cars over there? Like, bro. Like, damn, Jeffrey's so irrelevant that no one gives a fuck if he just dropped dead. Feels bad, man. Overall, was the pilot good? I'd say so. Was it absolute cinema or anything? No. But it was serviceable. Regardless of the quality of the pilot itself, I more so wanted to make this video to discuss mainly the very noticeable differences between the characters of Nicole and Jekka from their game counterparts, and how the vibe feels more hopeful and bright compared to the darkness that permeates throughout the games. When the pilot first aired, the differences between them honestly bothered me. Now looking at it almost a year after its release, which at this time is 8 days away from its anniversary at the time I'm recording this, I don't really mind that it's not a one-to-one. In fact, that makes it more interesting and gives the series fans a fresh new outlook, because the creators absolutely made this with the game's fans in mind. Nicole is at her nicest in this, and the story manages to evoke a feeling of happiness and hope while not completely leaving out the awful elements of them that make Nicole and Jekka, well, Nicole and Jekka. And that's refreshing. If I had to make a comparison, the pilot feels like it was pulled straight from Mean Girls, while the games very much have the same energy as Heather's. Granted, they probably made these changes to make the pilot more marketable to potential buyers, since the entire thing feels like something you'd see on Adult Swim or Comedy Central. The shift in tone might have turned some fans off potentially, as they might be shaking their fists at the sky saying, hashtag not my Nicole or Jekka. But if you look at this as its own separate universe, which I do, it becomes a lot more palatable. I know I'm not the only one that, despite Nicole's terrible actions within the game, can't help but feel bad for her and want her to get right. With this pilot, it feels like that's possible. And I know it's just a cartoon and it's not meant to be taken seriously because hee hee ha ha, funny class of 09 lol. But at the end of the day, I can't help thinking of this as another timeline where Nicole could maybe be happy one day. And that, my friends, fills me with hope. Nicole and Jekka will never be saints, but here you get the feeling that if they get their shit together, they could grow up to be a decent pair of human beings one day. It'll just take time, as all people do when they're trying to be better. And that's my take on the hopefulness within the Class of 09 anime pilot. If you stuck around to the end, I thank you so very much for sticking with me, as I am trying to dive into the realm of video essaying and content creation. I know I have a long way to go with this journey, but if I can make even just one person walk away happy along the way, I think the grind is worth it. If you want to see more of my content, check out my previous video diving into why I love ASMR roleplay so much. I hope to make even better content in the future. Maybe I didn't get everything right, but I did give you my best as promised. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next time. Bye!